that whole part of your journey? Was that Instagram? Was it podcasting? Like, walk me through that part of the journey. I'm curious how you got started.
Yeah. So I started like maybe even before social media. I left home when I was 18 years old. I didn't speak a word of English. I really wanted to learn. And I thought it might be too late, because you're 18, like, well, everyone speaks English. It's probably too late for me to learn. But I decided to buy a one-way ticket to Australia and learn. And it's funny because it's such a beautiful lesson. We often think like, is it too late? Is it too late? Like, can you imagine if at 18, I was like, maybe I should just call it a day and like not bother learning English. Like, is that funny how we think things are too late? Anyways, at 18, went to Australia, learned how to speak English. Then I finished my master's degree in business management, but it was about how to work for other people, so how to be a business consultant to help companies scale. And I was like, this is the most unfulfilling study of my life. Like, I'm just learning how to support other people's dreams. So I thought I was going into this thinking that I'm going to learn how to make money for myself and manage people and how to be a good leader and how to motivate people. None of this. This was just like economics and, how to work for a corporation and, retired. So it was like soul sucking. And so at 25, I had a quarter life crisis and I was like, I'm just going to go sail across the Pacific, which by the way, I didn't realize it's 1/3 of the planet. I never sailed before. And my partner at the time never sailed either. Like we've never been
a sailboat? Like you guys got on a sailboat.
Yeah, so we found one on eBay for $10,000, like a 40 years old sailboat. And ignorance is a bliss because I didn't realize sailing would be that complicated, especially across the ocean. And to say that I was I had a near-death experience every single day would not be an exaggeration because neither of us ever sailed. The first leg of the trip was supposed to be 21 days. It took me 57. My mom reported me lost. They were genuinely thinking that I'm dead because,
Did you run out of food and stuff?
Yeah, so we ran out of food. I was eating rice for the last 4 weeks, cooked in ocean water. And so it was like a true survival, like movie style. And so I got to the first island and I was like, I don't even know how to stop the boat because I've never sailed before. So it's Sailing for Dummies and we literally just going through the book and it says like, okay, you need to drop an anchor and that would stop the boat, put the sails down and drop about 7 fathoms or like 4 fathoms for every, I'm like, what are fathoms? Like there's no Google, like you don't have any contact with the outside world. And it was such a humbling experience. And then continue going. It took about a year for me to sail across the whole Pacific. And that was
you didn't stop after that first 50 days. You weren't like, I'm out, let's fly home.
No.
You kept going?
No, because I was like, I don't want to quit. It like that part of me that just feels like if I stop doing something, maybe it's not that's like an unhealthy version of not quitting. I feel like there's a level where you have to quit. So I just didn't want to give up. And so we kept going. It took us a year. And, we also sailed in what we then found out was the cyclone season, which is like big storms and it was really like survival. I didn't even know I get a seasick because I'd never been on a boat before. So I puked nonstop for 4 weeks. It was miserable. And so after I survived that experience, I was like, wow, there's no way I can go to a corporate job working for other people. Like, I just couldn't imagine. I was like, I'm almost dead. I died so many times. Like I need to do something profound with my life. And so that was like the beginning of like being able to share like my love for the world. And my whole premise was like, wow, look what it's like to be in someone else's shoes. Like, isn't that beautiful when you actually put yourself in other people's shoes? That was the idea, that when you travel, you don't travel to like be yourself, you travel to learn empathy.
Before we get the biohacking thing, can you explain to them how you're able to do that full time for 6 years? Like, how do you get paid? How do you make money being like sharing your travels? I don't think a lot of people in my world actually understand that.
Back in the day for me, I would get paid by either tourism boards, which are just like government organization for each country. Like the government of Thailand or Qatar or Indonesia wants to promote their country and they pay someone to come and take photos and promote it. You get paid by hotels, you get paid by different brands that are travel related. I made my first $1 million selling presets. So these are like, I would have photos and would color them. And then you could buy the preset, like photo filters from these photos.
this is what you said after 6 years, started having health issues. Was it originally because of the travel, because of like all that kind of stuff, or what do you think caused the original root, like health issues you started struggling with?
I was vegan, right? So I thought it was like, I was following the trend of like eating sweet breakfast and nibbling. And that I felt like if I eat a proper meal, that wouldn't be feminine enough. I was just like, so, like a girl in her 20s and just like scared of eating real food and eating mostly sugar. And so started feeling like low energy, obviously constant travel, radiation exposure, toxins and whatnot definitely doesn't help. And so I then moved to Santa Monica at the same time and was right next to Bulletproof Cafe. So we both have a similar experience. And I was like this crazy guy, Dave Asprey, like doing all of these crazy things. And obviously as a girl back in the day, I had a fat phobia. So the fact that he would add butter to coffee, that to me sounded like suicide. But I was getting more and more sick and I had acne. My hair was falling out in patches. I had bald patches that I kept trying to cover up. Gain weight, and I was like, oh my God, like there's something, I need to feel better. Like I was just really struggling and felt really low, and I dove into biohacking, and then I continued to travel. But then it was this gap of like, women was like, oh, what did you do to like change? I'm like, oh, it's biohacking. And they're like, yeah, but there's only this like guy that does it. Like, how do you do it? And that's how it started.
I had like 1,000 different gadgets. My kids and I we would do biohacking nights. We'd plug everyone up to these lasers and these shockers and these, it was really fun. We had a good time with it. But then it's funny, like I kind of had a similar realization, like the things that had the biggest impact were like sleeping, sunlight, eating correctly, like those things have such a huge, profound impact, and I wasn't doing those. It's like, what if I focus on the 99% first and then adding those other things later? But it's fascinating. You started doing biohacking, living this lifestyle. I'm curious, how long was it before you decided that like, you started coaching and teaching and then actually writing a book? Like, what did that transition look like for you? Because a lot of people, they experience something, but they never think like, I could be the person helping other people with this. Like what was it that caused you to be like, I can serve, like I can do this for other people?
I had a massive imposter syndrome, and I think actually being exposed to you helped a lot. But I was just sharing, I never thought in my wildest dreams, if you asked me 3-4 years ago, if I would be doing what I'm doing. It was like, there's no way. I'm, not a doctor. I don't have a PhD in medicine and whatnot. And then I realized, I'm like, actually, Dave Asprey doesn't have either. So, then I realized, I'm like, oh, so this limiting belief is also, maybe not valid. And I love that you always say that you don't share things from a place of being an expert, but just from your own experience. And that makes you an expert. And I got approached by a personal trainer, and he's like, oh, what do you think if we can do a challenge for like a fitness challenge together? And you can be sharing your personal story with biohacking. I'll be doing workouts. And I'm like, let's just do it. Like, let's just see how many people would sign up. It was like, I think $49. And we had 15,000 people sign up on the first day.
15,000? Like, wow.
And I was like, wow, that's crazy. So all of a sudden it was just like this deep, like that was really like surprising for me. I'm like, wow, that would be great. But it was a really basic challenge where we would just send you an email every day explaining what to do. Like, hey, today, like just like a very basic email challenge. And so I was like, wow. And it was great. And I would like work with this personal trainer, but he said, but it doesn't really matter, men or women. We just have to push them to fast more and they will lose weight. I'm like, but I noticed that I fast very differently depending on my cycle. And because he was a male, he wasn't really like on the same page. And so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to like learn what other people are saying. And back in the day, was it 3-4 years ago, like not a lot of people talked about living according to your cycle, right? There was like a very taboo thing. It was just more so you stick to just like there's only one way of doing things. And so I dove deeper into that and decided to just try to do it on my own and just share it from a place of like, I'm not an expert, but this is what helps me live according to my cycle. And I brought experts on, and that basically blew up, and the rest is history.
How much, like for this $1 right now, how much does the fitness one cost?
$399. $399.
Okay. And so it's a 21-day challenge. And then how much, or like, what does each day look like? Is it video? Is it email? Like, What is this? How do you structure it?
So they get a video. So there's one science video, one workout video, and they have like one challenge for the day, whether it's like, okay, you're going to start your day with apple cider vinegar, right? Like that's the one thing that new habit that you build around that. And we stack this habit every single day. I don't know if you know the Atomic Habits, the book, but that's the idea that every day we add like, compound the habit and we stack the habits. But that still wasn't as, I feel like we also have a call with me, but that's what led me to building my own app where we can have a slightly different approach to that and just kind of give point system for each video so we can reward people even for, showing up.
That's cool. So for the next 21 days now, so you launched this morning, the next 21 days, they're getting a video and a challenge. How long is each video each day? Are they shorter? Are they longer?
Yeah, we keep it under 5 minutes because I realized if I can't, I've done so many courses at this point, and I think that's the difference between like a high ticket customer and a low ticket customer, because like they were like, how long are the videos and how many modules? Because they want the volume. And I think I'm busy. I don't have time to watch 40-minute videos every day. Like if I can't translate knowledge to you into 5 minutes, that what really matters, like high level notes, then that's kind of, I'm not doing my job right.
I have an idea based on what you said that could work really good in one of our businesses that I wanted to do a January challenge for that anyway. And this might be a better way to do it. Because I get in the spot where I get excited. I'll do like an hour-long call every day for 30 days and then people get overwhelmed and everything. I love the idea of like giving them a micro habit each day, like teaching the principles and giving the habit and just like breaking it up over 30 days and probably be way more effective for people as well.